Hello again, it's CJ Webley here. Today we're going to be looking at subtlety in drama. So, a very common thing that happens with new writers is that they have this amazing idea in their head about a particular issue. They'll decide on the characters, and what will happen is they will say, okay, this character gets really frustrated with this character, and then they kill them. Well, what happens is this is a really ineffective way to create drama, and subtlety is much more important. So when we say subtlety, we mean that you don't actually have to do something so extreme in order for the story to be interesting for the audience or the reader. So I run a lot of workshops in schools, and as I say, what will commonly happen is I'll say to them, okay, we're going to write a story this about a particular theme, and they will decide that they want it to be really emotionally driven. And they say, okay, what happens is this character gets really angry at this one and then stabs them in the neck. Not really what we're looking for here. And not really what's going to be the most interesting thing for the audience, because they want to go on this journey with these characters. So let's take this scenario here. We've got the characters A and B. A and B are friends. So already we know that there's something at stake, their friendship. If something happens, they may no longer be friends. So as an audience, we're interested in that. How are they going to maintain this friendship, or is something going to happen where to make them not be friends anymore? So the inciting incident. So there is a singing competition coming up at the school. So this is the inciting incident, the thing that's initially going to happen, the initial setup. What is this story going to be about? So A's action. So let's call A Rachel. For the sake of this, Rachel wants to enter the competition and win. She's a brilliant singer. So let's say that character B is Sarah. Sarah wants to convince A not to enter the competition. You know that Rachel is a better singer than you, and if she enters, you've got no chance. So this is kind of similar as if, if I was going to go into a singing competition and my best friend was Leona Lewis. I know I've got no chance, but if I really want this, I've got to find a way of getting Leona out of the picture. So that's kind of where Sarah's coming from here. The location is a music classroom, so it's a closed space. So it's a closed space. We know exactly where it's happening. And then there's a time pressure also. So there's 5 minutes. So we know that this is really intense, and this issue has to be resolved within this 5-minute time frame. So what a new writer would say, or someone who wants to create that really emotionally driven story but hasn't necessarily had this session, they might say, okay, I want Sarah, character B, to kill Rachel, because then she's out of the picture and then that's no issue for her. But what happens if we kill Rachel off too early, or if we kill her at all, then the audience has nothing really to cling on to. So there's not much of a story. So what might be a more interesting way of doing that is if, for example, Sarah was to say that Rachel's got a phone call from her mom. So Rachel has to go away and take care of this phone call. So that gives Sarah the opportunity to do this competition. And then when Rachel comes back, Rachel could realize that actually Sarah only wanted her out of the picture to take her spot in this competition. So there's a really interesting story there. And then we get to hone in on this and focus on what their relationship is like and what's going to happen, what's going to come of their friendship. So what I'd like you to do now is taking a look at this scene here. I'd like you to add in some dialogue for the character A and character B. Now, you don't have to use the words, the names Rachel or Sarah. You can use your own names, and you can even add in a character if you want to. You could add in a teacher or a best friend. Who is that loyalty going to lie with? Is it going to lie with character A or character B? So these things will all help to drive the story forward. But the focus is on creating that subtlety. So no killing anyone off. Let's keep it in the tension. That's where the fun is. Good luck, guys. Have a great time writing this dialogue.